स्टार्ट किया है। स्टार्ट किया गया। सोनाली मैम,
हाँ सर। यस
स्टार्ट
सर।
करो ना। वो बच्ची किधर है? नहीं आई क्या सानिध्या?
आई साथ में बैठी
हाँ,
सर।
बात करो।
स्टार्ट कर।
Good.
Good evening, everyone. Today's topic that we are going to talk on is commercial pilot license. There are many students who dream to be pilot in Indian Airlines or like that, but they don't know what is the procedure they need to go through, they need to follow to become commercial pilot license. So today we have a student with us who has researched a lot, and she herself want to be she is aspiring commercial pilot. So we'll start the lecture on commercial pilot license.
Hello everyone, myself Saidya Ikawle, and today I'm going to give you information about commercial pilot. So here's a small introduction to become a commercial pilot. Becoming a commercial pilot is an existing and rewarding career path. It requires extensive training, commitment, and passion for aviation. This presentation will explore the various steps and opportunities available for aspiring pilot in India and abroad. So now there is two paths. One, you can become commercial pilot. One is cadet pilot program, and one is simply a commercial pilot program. So today I'll tell you about both. So what is cadet pilot program? So there's various way you can join cadet pilot program. First is Indian Air Force. The Indian Air Force offers a prestigious cadet pilot program for young individuals interested in becoming military pilots. This highly competitive program provides comprehensive training and opportunities to serve the nation. Now, the second one is Civilian Cadet Pilot Program. So, several private aviation academies in India offer cadet pilot program for those seeking a career in commercial aviation. This program combines ground-based instructions and flight training to prepare cadets for a commercial pilot license. Now, what is the eligibility criteria? So, for cadet pilot program in India, typically requires candidates to meet specific educational and medical requirements, as well as pass rigorous entrance exam and interviews. Now, cadet pilot program in abroad. So there is various cadet pilot program in abroad available as well. So for United States, the United States offers several cadet pilot programs, including those opportunities by major airlines and the U.S. Air Force. This program provides comprehensive training and opportunity to fly a wide range of aircraft. Now, there is a various scholarship also available for commercial pilot. So, scholarship for aspiring pilot in India. Academic scholarship. Several education, instructions, and government organizations in India provides scholarship for students pursuing aviation-related degrees and diplomas. Pilot
मतलब ये सोनाली मैम वो बच्चे को बोलो कि अगर पायलट बनने का तो भी स्कॉलरशिप मिलता है क्या? इसके ऊपर इलाबोरेट करना पड़ेगा। हेलो,
Yes, sir.
हाँ, मतलब ये बहुत बड़ी बात है ना कि अगर पायलट बनना है तो भी स्कॉलरशिप मिलता है। तो क्या क्या स्कॉलरशिप मिल सकता है?
क्या क्या स्कॉलरशिप मिल सकता है, कैसे मिल सकता है,
आगे कंटिन्यू सारी दिन।
a very important and crucial thing I like to share you all about that commercial parents to get a scholarship. There is various kind of scholarships available for commercial pilot as well. scholarship for students.
सबको म्यूट करो जो 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 लोग बात कर रहे हैं। वो श्रवण जादव कौन है, इसको म्यूट करो। आगे
Academic scholarship. Several educational institutions and government organizations in India provide scholarship for students pursuing aviation-related degrees and diplomas. Pilot training grants. Some private and public entities offers financial assistance to cover the cost of pilot training program, helping aspiring pilots achieve their dreams.
अथर्व पाटोले भी बोल सकता। अथर्व, कमर्शियल पायलट लाइसेंस लेने के लिए क्या करने का, जरा अथर्व पाटोले को बोलने को बोलो। अथर्व पाटोले, हाँ, तेरा क्या इनपुट है स्कॉलरशिप लेने का, तो कैसे ले सकते हैं, कुछ आइडिया?
So mainly in India, scholarship is provided by only one flying school, which is called IGROA, and which is government funded basically. So
what is their intention of giving scholarship? Why do they want to give scholarship?
as it is government aided, and they want to make sure that everyone reaches to aviation, and there are few others as well, but it is up to our due diligence that we find flight training centers that give scholarship.
अच्छा, तो उनके कुछ क्राइटेरिया रहेंगे ना स्कॉलरशिप देने के?
Yes, sir. There are criterias, and one of them for IGROA is that there is some financial constraint that you need to have this much LPA income in your home. I'm not sure about it, so I cannot comment.
Please explain to them what is the full form of LPA.
So LPA means lakh per annum. So it's basically in lakhs how much you earn in a year. So that is
And
what
why do they want to give a loan or scholarship? उसका उनका इंटेंशन क्या है?
to subsidize the training for a common man. So because aviation is very costly course, so they want to make sure that it reaches to everyone. So that's the main purpose.
ठीक है, कंटिन्यू। सोनाली मैम, आपने नोट किया क्या उसने जो बताया? डाउन टाइप करेगा क्या, चैट में लिखेगा तूने जो स्कॉलरशिप का नाम बताया? अथर्व,
Yes, sir.
स्कॉलरशिप का जो नाम है टाइप करना।
Yes, sir. करता हूँ.
कंटिन्यू सानिध्या। हेलो, सानिध्या कंटिन्यू।
There is interesting part about pilots. Extensive training. Pilot undergoes rigorous and comprehensive training, including thousands of hours of flight time, to ensure the highest level of safety and expertise. Now, global reach. Commercial pilots have the opportunities to travel the world, experiencing diverse cultures and landscapes while connecting people and places. Now, advanced technology. Pilot utilize cutting-edge aviation and flights management systems to navigate and control modern aircraft with precision and efficiency. Teamwork and leadership. Pilots work closely with team of air traffic controllers, flight attendants, and ground crews to ensure the safe and successful operations of each flight. Career path and requirement for commercial pilot. Must obtain a private pilot license. The first step is to obtain a private pilot license, which involves completing ground and flight training. Second, earn a commercial pilot license. Next, aspiring commercial pilot must obtain a commercial pilot license which allows them to fly larger aircraft and carry passenger or cargo for hire. Third, gain experience. Pilot must accumulate significant flight hours, often through flight instructing or working as co-pilot, to build the necessary experience for commercial air pilot. ATP certified. The final requirement for becoming a commercial pilot is earning an airline transport pilot ATP certified. Now this is conclusion and next step. Pursue cadet pilot program. Enroll in prestigious cadet pilot program in India or abroad to receive comprehensive training and the change to fly for leading airlines. Explore scholarship opportunities. Seek out scholarships and financial assistance to help cover the cost of pilot training and education, making your aviation dream attainable. Now, embark on pilot training. Commit to the rigorous pilot training progress, which involves ground school, flight instructions, and earning various licenses and certifications. Gain relevant experience. Accumulate fly hours and experience through roles such as flight instructing or co-piloting, strengthening your skills and resume for commercial pilot position.
Okay.
अब्रॉड का स्पेलिंग गलत है, अब्रॉड का स्पेलिंग गलत है, करेक्ट कर लो, कंटिन्यू.
Hi everyone, good evening. Atharva Patole over here, and I am in the process of becoming a pilot. And so, as Sandhya,
A little louder. We are not able to hear you.
hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
No.
Just a second. How's it now, ma'am?
Okay.
Okay. So, firstly, do your due diligence. So, बोलते हैं कि आप अपना रिसर्च करके जाइए बिकॉज आप बहुत पैसा लगाने वाले हैं इसमें. सो जो रेंज है इट इज एनीवेयर बिटवीन 70 lakhs to 1 crore. दैट इज द स्पेक्ट्रम वेयर यू आर थिंकिंग टू स्पेंड द मनी. सो कैन यू प्लीज शो द फर्स्ट स्लाइड द रिक्वायरमेंट्स. Yeah. So requirements in India. So I couldn't mention, but the first requirement to do all this is to have PCM in your 10 plus 2. म्हणजे 10वी, sorry, in 12th you need your physics, chemistry, and maths so that you can become a commercial pilot in India. So second thing is, as you want to become a pilot in India, you need to know that you are medically fit. If you're not medically fit, you cannot fly. And there are two medical examinations, as you can see, class 2 and class 1. So the class 2 medical examination is valid for 2 years, and it costs somewhere around, sorry,
मग पीपीटी दाखवतात का?
is someone saying something? Okay, okay. So class 2 medical का खर्चा almost 7,500 से लेके 10,500 तक लगता है depending on your medical state. And it takes about 1 month to 1.5 months to get your class 2 medical. Second being your class 1 medical, which is more rigorous than class 2 as it is a higher grade. It takes about 3 days to complete that, and it costs somewhere around 20,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees. Now, the second part, which is once you're done with medicals, when you know that you're medically fit, you can proceed for exams. So basically, you have to give a lot of exams and once you have a computer number, you can give all of your exams. So before that, there is a step called computer number. And for computer number, you should be having PCM in a 12th standard and with the result as passed. So then you can apply. And in applying for computer number, it takes usually around 3 to 4 months. And clearing all of these exams, as I've mentioned, air navigation, air regulation, meteorology, technical general, and technical specific and RTR, it takes about 3 4 months. So the first 5 exams is conducted by DGCA, and the last RTR is conducted by DGCA and WPC. So RTR is radio communication and on the flight deck, so it is needed, and you cannot come behind the controls of aircraft if you don't have radio license. So the first exam is, as it says, air navigation, wherein which you learn how the plane navigates, you learn about the earth, you learn about the geographical things which are to be taken care of as a pilot and all the calculations required. Meteorology, as you won't be flying in clear weather all time, you would happen to come across a lot of weather, bad weather, snow, rainfall, uh, and a lot of various climates. So meteorology is also one of the requirements. And the third one comes air regulations, and it is said that a pilot is just not pilot; he is a navigator, a lawyer, and a meteorology specialist. So you have to also know regulations. There are different regulations across the world and in different FIR. FIR meaning flight information region. It is like an imaginary boundary as like countries have. So, and there is also organization called ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. So which takes care for all the regulations which are required. And secondly, the technical general and technical specific is what kind of aircraft you fly. So technical general remains the same for every pilot who wants to do the flying, because some part of the flying base knowledge remains the same. And technical specific, as it says, the different aircraft you fly while you're training. Suppose you do it on Maruti 800, you should know what Maruti 800 has to do. If you do it in a SUV, you should know what SUV switches and all the system it has. So this is the part. And since additional information, like if you're going for flight training abroad, you can give your air navigation, meteorology, and air regulation paper before going, or after returning back. There is a paper called composite, which also comprises of these 3 papers. So that is one thing. The other thing is your radio license, which is called RTR. Depends on which country you fly. Now, why did I say that? Because if you fly in a Commonwealth country, your RTR license is valid upon like your foreign license. If you don't do your flying in a Commonwealth country, you have to give your RTR when you return back. So once you're done with all this, you have your flight training requirements. Now, considering that you come back to India or you do flight training in India, so there is something called as CARS, DGCA CARS. Now, what is DGCA? DGCA is just like RTO in India for aviation. So that stands for Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and CARS stands for Civil Aviation Requirements. So please refer to DGCA CARS for latest requirements. And these are some of the latest requirements. And this is just a brief idea. So minimum of 200 hours are required, and 100 of hours is PIC. PIC meaning pilot in command, and pilot in command means like you're the sole manipulator of the controls. So 30 maximum hours as student PIC. As in when you start your training, you have a learner's license, which is called as SPL, student pilot license. So on that you need 30 hours. Then 50 hours of cross country flying, meaning if you depart from a airport, you should land on a B airport, not at the same airport. And 15 hours of recency in last 6 months. Then 5 hours of night flying, which includes your 10 takeoff and 10 landings in 6 months. Then 50 hours of instrument flying. So what is instrument flying? Like as I said, you would be always coming across a lot of weather. So instrument flying means you fly with aids of an instrument, and pilot don't look outside the window. They look into the cockpit, like they have some instruments in the front of them. So that is what it is, like 50 of that. In that, the bifurcation is that 20 of which can be done in simulator, and 5 hours should be in last 6 months. Now, all this training which I've mentioned above is just on a single engine aircraft. Now the multi-engine aircraft part comes, which is multi-engine IFR rating. So that means you should also be learning a multi-engine aircraft as in later stage while you fly the SUV or a bigger aircraft, you'll be flying a multi-engine aircraft. So on that you need 25 hours and 15 of which can be on a simulator just to have a cost saving measure and which is also approved by DGC, and those hours on simulator are counted in a logbook. So next slide please. Can we have the next slide, please?
Okay. बेसिकली सीपीएल के बारे में जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन दिया है, राइट, आई होप सबको पता चला होगा. इफ एनीवन हैज एनी क्वेश्चन, प्लीज मेंशन इन चैट बॉक्स. जस्ट टू रिवाइज एक बार, लाइक समराइज करने के लिए मैं वापस से रिपीट कर देती हूँ. जो अभी तुम्हारे स्टूडेंट्स ने इन्फॉर्म किया, दैट इज कि सीपीएल जो ये कोर्स होता है, इट इज नॉट लाइक इट इज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. 70 lakhs to 1 CR तक भी आपका एक्सपेंसेस हो सकता है उसमें, राइट. तो एक्सपेंसेस बहुत ज्यादा हैं. व्हाट इज एडवाइज्ड इज कि आप आपका मेडिकल जो है वो कर लीजिए पहले से, बिफोर गोइंग इनटू दिस कोर्स. आप आपका मेडिकल जो है वो कर लीजिए. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप दैट अथर्व also mentioned and in detail कि क्लास 1 एंड क्लास 2 लेवल ऑफ मेडिकल होता है, जिसमें कितना टाइम लगता है, वैलिड कितने टाइम के लिए होता है, वैलिडेट वैलिड कितने टाइम के लिए, वो भी मेंशन करा है स्क्रीन पे, राइट. एग्जामिनेशन आफ्टर मेडिकल यू नीड टू अप्लाई फॉर एग्जाम्स. वो भी कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं सब स्क्रीन पे लिखा हुआ है. इफ एनी क्वेरीज प्लीज आस्क. अथर्व.
So like what is Commonwealth countries regarding RTR? So like Commonwealth countries and India have a rule that the RTR radio telephony restricted license is mutually understanding is there that the license is valid. Suppose you do your flying in UK or Australia or New Zealand. All of these countries are Commonwealth countries. So the RTR license which you have there while you come back is valid in India. And RTR in India have two parts. So RTR part one and part two. So if you do it from abroad, you just have to give a RTR part one, which is just the MCQ and some Viva questions. So that's about it. It's comparatively a simpler process if you want to have a RTR from abroad than in India, because in India you have to give RTR part one and part two, which is a tedious process. Any more questions? Shravan, have I answered your question or any more doubts?
You want this?
All right, I'll take that as yes. So, flight training abroad, and as I mentioned, like I'm going through my flight training mostly abroad, and the countries mostly preferred are USA as in states, then second New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa, and many more. So these are the most primarily preferred countries to go for flight training. And the reason is why, as many students go over there, so you have people over there whom can guide you that what should be done and what you have to look for. There are many red flags in flight school which you should be looking for, and there are good flying schools as well. So you have to look for that. Although the sequence is not correct, so I'll tell you the sequence which is the cheapest and which is the expensive. So Australia being the most expensive one in the list, then New Zealand, then USA, and then South Africa. So this is in a descending order, and the process remains the same flight training and abroad. almost all similar requirements are there with minor changes, such as number of exams and medical examination. So prior to flight training abroad, you can get your medical done in India as well. There are medical examiners who get it done. So that is one thing. And that's about the medical examination and number of exams. And also, once you come back, there is something called as conversion. So it costs somewhere around 5 to 4 lakhs more. So that has not been mentioned. Can you have the next slide? So opportunities abroad, and like most of the parents, they insist that you settle abroad or don't come back. So this is one of the things. So you may work there depending on the immigration rules, as each and every country have different immigration rules. You may work there as an instructor or work in a corporate jet companies. Now, what do I mean by that? So instructor is the person who teaches us as a student pilot. So the pilot who is having much more experience than us, who is a teacher for us, that is called instructor. They also earn about $1 lakh salary per year, that is LPA, or plus or minus depending on the company which you work for. The other part is you work for corporate companies, suppose you have a millionaire, they need to have a pilot for the private jets. So there are multiple pilots and there are multiple companies for corporate jets as well. So you can also be working there. And there are different visa requirements and all for that. So yeah, and any more questions on this before moving to salaries, the most exciting
Any
part?
questions, please mention in chat box. अगर आपको कोई भी questions है, कोई भी queries है, please mention in chat box.
Okay, so the salary. So the salary in US ranges from $100,000 to $200,000 per year, and this is for an instructor. So that is the range. And salary for corporate pilot is around that. Just added money uh, for the inconvenience cost to the pilots. So pilots have to be ready for any time in the corporate jet world. Now coming back to salaries in India, so these salaries are just a rough estimate, as in what you can be taking. Just a second. So the salaries in India range from your ranking. So the first rank which you get, or the first thing as a designation you get, is JFO. JFO stands for Junior First Officer, and you're basically a trainee pilot for around 6 to 8 months, and that costs somewhere. Sorry, correction. They pay you somewhere around 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs, maybe plus or minus depending on the company. Some low cost carriers pays more than some traditional carriers. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Second promotion which you get is first officer. Now, somewhere in between, you get your line released. Now, line released is like uh, now you can be a first officer with a captain. That is what is a first officer means. In JFO, you are like three people in the cockpit, like the captain of the flight, you're flying, and there is a safety first officer. So that's why the salary is less, as you are a liability to the company, not an asset. Now, over here, in first officer, you become an asset to the company. So also with experience, they increase your salary. So that is one thing. The third promotion which you get is senior first officer, and the promotion is based on hours. So the experience you accumulate, so the promotions you get. So that salary is around 5 to 8 lakhs. Same depending on the career you work for and how many hours you do. So basically, there is a contract of somewhere around 60 hours to 70 hours, depending on where do you fly. And over here, somewhere there is a new license introduced, which is nothing. You don't have to spend more money on that. You just have to give your exams and you have to clear it. That is called ATPL. So that is required to become a captain in India on a jet engine, which is having a weight of more than 10 tons. So mostly in airlines, all of the plane weigh more than 10 tons. So it is a requirement in India to have a ATPL license. And after that getting cleared, you also have airline training and other requirements to be fulfilled from them. And that comes around 2,500 hours when you become captain, and the salary also increases to 8 to 10 lakhs. And those who looking more than that, who want to train people as an instructor in an airline, that is called line training captain. So this line training captain is the one who sits with you while you are the JFO. So these are the salary structure. And any more questions? I think I've concluded from my part. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? किसी को भी कोई भी questions? कुछ भी question है पूछना है please.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Uh, तो सर मैंने ना एक हम लोग के इधर काउंसलिंग हुई थी इसी संडे को, तो मैं वहाँ पे गया था। तो उन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि अगर तुम्हें पायलट बनना था तो एक और भी रास्ता है, जैसे कि तुम एयरफोर्स में ज्वाइन कर लो। वो कुछ एनडीए का एग्जाम क्रैक करना पड़ता है उसके लिए। वो अगर तुम ज्वाइन कर लोगे तो कुछ एक टाइम पीरियड रहता है, जैसे 7 साल 8 साल का। तुम अगर एयरफोर्स में भी अगर ज्वाइन करके तुम कर सकते हो, फिर उसके बाद तुम डायरेक्ट आ सकते हो कमर्शियल पायलट में। तो क्या सर ये सही है या गलत है?
Yes, that's true. And as you said, so जैसे आप CDS वगैरह दे सकते हो and you get into short service commission. So short service commission करके रहता है एयरफोर्स में. That is around 15 years of service. In that, depending on if you get flying branch, and that hope so you get it, and you accumulate a lot of flying experience, that too on a military performance jet, that is considered as jet experience by DGCA. So there is just a written exam at the end of your service if you want to become a commercial pilot, that you have to clear, and a medical examination. And then you can apply to the airlines. And airlines are more than willing to take expat than a freshie who is just a civilian. So yes, that is a possibility.
थैंक यू सर।
Just to add here, like, when you are looking to become officer in Indian Air Forces, a pilot in Indian Air Forces, the expenses that you you put in is only ₹100. जो एंट्रेंस एग्जाम है एनडीए एफकैट सीडीएस, वो एंट्रेंस एग्जाम की जो फॉर्म का फीस है ₹100, you only invest that amount. If you are selected, if you clear your written examination, if you clear your SSBs, medicals and everything, and you're selected for the training and you become officer, the only expenses that you put in is ₹100. So compare कि एनडीए से अगर ऑफिसर बनते हो, पायलट बनते हैं, it is ₹100. Whereas if you go after 12th standard directly for CPL, commercial pilot license, it is approximately 70 lakh to 1 CR. That is what Athar mentioned, right, Athar?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Yes. So compare this. So yes, and also with that, if you become officer in Indian Air Force, pilot in Indian Air Force, the kind of respect and perks that you get, you are like, you get very good profile, lieutenant and all, and everything, all facilities from government. Also after retirement you get pension, so that is also one additional thing that you get, right? So we at ADCI, yes, definitely advise you try for CPL. That is also after 12th standard. ND is also with 12th standard. Try for both things. If you can go through ND Air Force pilot, the best thing is to go to that. You save your money. Otherwise, anything you would like to add? Um,
What was your question? I couldn't hear that.
anything you would like to add?
Yes, ma'am. Like as you said, defense is the one of the career paths, and it is much preferred that if there is a financial issue and you want to become a pilot, and as well as you have the will to serve your country, then Air Force is definitely a best option for you. And yeah, that's all.
We have last 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes we have because we have lectures after that. So 2 minutes. Any questions? Please let us know. Any questions?
So for the joining for the Air Force, is it that easy for the common people, or there is any competitive examination required to crack that, or just you need a good percentage in the 12?
Sorry, sir, could not understand
Are
your
you?
question.
So I'm telling, I'm asking that is it that to getting in an Air Force pilot courses, is it that easier for a common person, or common to say like that you can say the less privileged person? Are you understanding me? Are you getting me? Are you hearing me, my voice? Actually, I'm walking. That's why. Hello, Athar sir. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah.
But your voice is very static, sir. I cannot hear it properly.
Actually, no, no. No, actually, I'm asking just after the 12th for joining the Air Force and all. What is the criteria for to get admission for that? Means
So,
you need any competitive exam to crack, or just need a good percentage in 12, or what is that? And what would be the cost for that getting even in the governmental, like even in the Air Force, you mean? I mean,
so
हेलो हेलो हनीफ
hello.
सर
जी सर.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
जी
This
मैम.
is सदर
वालेकुम सलाम.
जी सर आपसे बात हुई थी मेरी
हाँ हाँ.
12th के बाद एनडीए का एग्जाम होता है जो स्टूडेंट को क्रैक करना होता है ये एनडीए का
बिल्कुल.
एग्जाम देता है तो ही गोज इनटू द एनडीए एंड ही स्टडीज देयर उसके
आई
बाद
से.
उसका promote होता है इनटू द आर्मी नेवी और एयरफोर्स डिपेंडिंग ऑन हिज परफॉर्मेंस एंड हिज प्रेफरेंस
आई से.
तो that is the criteria for getting selected for the Air Force after 12th standard. बट आपको प्रेपरेशन जो है वो जैसे आपने बताया जुबैर 10th में है अभी 12th खत्म हो
हाँ
गया
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
तो for these 2 years he can prepare for his NDA exam along with his 11th and 12th standard exam. तो
और
मैंने आपका नंबर दिया हुआ है ऑलरेडी मेरे काउंसलर हैं
अच्छा
तो वो
अच्छा
आपको एनडीए के लिए प्रिपेयर कैसे करना है इसका सारा डिटेल भी देंगे और
अच्छा.
वो आपको बताएंगे कि एनडीए का एग्जाम क्रैक करने के लिए क्या क्या लगता है वी आर हियर टू प्रोवाइड कोचिंग फॉर एनडीए फॉर योर 11th and 12th board exams also. We have hostel
अच्छा.
facility
जी
and
जी.
along with that we will also give you all the career options that are available for your child while he is doing his 11th and 12th standard exam.
हम्म. तो मैम आपके फिर इंस्टीट्यूट का कोई नाम है वहाँ पर, वो जो अनिश कुटी सर जो वहाँ पे ये किए हैं? और
अनीस डिफेंस करियर
आप.
इंस्टीट्यूट नाम है अनीस
हाँ.
डिफेंस करियर इंस्टीट्यूट और
अच्छा.
पुणे में विश्रांतवाड़ी में लोकेटेड है सर
अब
और
ये
अभी
हॉस्टल हॉस्टल प्लस कॉलेजेस है ये?
जी जी मैं
अच्छा
अभी ये मीटिंग खत्म होने के बाद आपको कॉल आएगा और
अच्छा.
आपको सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगे और आपके जो भी डाउट्स है वो भी आप क्लियर कर सकते हैं एनडीए के बारे में अभी
ठीक है.
आपको एफओस ज्वाइन करना है तो यू हैव टू अपीयर फॉर द एनडीए एग्जाम एंड
अच्छा.
for appearing for that exam in 12th standard you'll have to start preparation in 11th and 12th.
एक्चुअली हम लोग संडे के दिन प्लान किए थे वहाँ आने के लिए, तो
हाँ
हम आ
आप
सकते हैं मीन कल?
बिल्कुल 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 we'll
अच्छा
get on with the lecture and I will give you a call after the meeting after this lecture
अच्छा.
gets over. Yes.
ओके मैम. थैंक यू सो मच.
Anyone else has any doubts? I have put in the link of a feedback form in the chat box. Everyone, please fill the feedback form. Atharva, Saidnya, Atharva, is it over? Are you guys done?
yes, ma'am, we are done with the presentation.
Okay. Sonali ma'am has anything to add?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Ma'am, done from our end.
Shravan, we have shared our number in the chat box. This will be an elaborate discussion, and you will have to call us on this number to get more details, as time is pressing right now. Or Atharva, if you would like to add on this.
What is the question? Okay. Sorry.
The question is it possible that we can give 4 entrance exam in India and then get the US license, come back to India and then give the remaining exam?
So like if you want to do your flight training in US, I'm taking that part. You can give your three papers which I mentioned. Like if you want to write it down, it is air navigation, meteorology and regulations, and RTR. So these are the four papers you can give it before going over there, or after returning back, you can give two papers, which is like the combination of three and the RTR separately. So that is one of the things. Yeah, you can give that. It's totally dependent on you and your skill and your willingness. So yeah, that is possible. I hope Sharon, I answered your question. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you so much, Atharva and Saidnya, for such an amazing and insightful lecture. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone and good day.
Thank you, ma'am.